Welcome, everyone, to ISKCON of Silicon Valley. Thank you very much for coming out on a very fine Sunday day on a holiday weekend. It's great to be together here. This organization was started with a lot of forethought. The founder, whose name is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, started off in Calcutta. He was born there. And he grew up with a good education. He came from a very spiritual family. And he lived right across the street from a Radha Krishna temple. His school was nearby also. And his father was particularly eager for him, his son, Abhaicharan, to live a spiritual life. Although he made sure that his son got a proper education, he also went to great lengths to make sure that he had spiritual values. In fact, on the humorous side, as we call him, Srila Prabhupada would recount later how his father had a penchant for inviting sadhus to their home. A sadhu means, in India, oftentimes, a holy person, but it can mean any kind of holy person. And there's a way in which his son, Abhaicharan, remembered later that many of the people he brought asking for blessings for his son were perhaps a little bit on the fringe of the spiritual practice. But he would accommodate them all. It's sort of the idea. Sometimes people say, throw it all against the wall, see whatever sticks. And including, he kept a hookah. Does anybody know what a hookah is? No? It's a pipe for smoking tobacco, hopefully. And he would keep that because some of the sadhus, like to smoke on the pipe. Point was, he was very liberal-minded, and he was very eager for his son to get blessings, and would continually ask for that. The lifestyle he would recount later of living near a Radha Krishna temple, which incidentally we just visited. A group of us were just there in Calcutta, so it's fresh in my mind. And he recalled as a child being mesmerized by watching the deity worship. He remembered standing and watching the pujari, that's the one who would attend to the deity, the form of the Lord in the temple, who's still there, and it's the same temple. And he said sometimes he would stand for hours and just watch, and he remembered the bell ringing. He grew up in that atmosphere. He did go to Scottish Churches College and got an education. He didn't go for his graduation, and the reason was because at the time the Gandhi movement was going on. If anybody's studied the life of Gandhi, or if you've seen the movie Gandhi, you know that he was a leader who wanted to liberate India from the colonization of England, and went to great lengths for that. He was a popular leader. And Abhay Charan had joined that movement while he was in college. And so part of the protest, there was a nonviolent non-cooperation movement going on. He didn't go for his graduation out of protest. And sometime after that, he started a family, and just around that time, one of his friends, and as Srila Prabhupada himself had explained to his disciples at one time, talking about his past and his life, that he had been a kind of leader amongst his friends, and they liked to verify things with him. You know how you're checking something out, and then before you actually take it, you'll say, first I want to ask such and such. If he or she says it's good, it's good. So Prabhupada was like that amongst his friends. So one of them had insisted that there was a sadhu nearby, residing in a place called Ultadanga Junction Road. Still there. In fact, it has just been restored to its original condition, the way it was when they were first there. And Prabhupada describes that practically he dragged me there, was his language, because he had this sense that the sadhus he had seen, he wasn't so impressed, and he thought, oh, another one. So his friend said, no, I think this is different. Please come. We want your verification. So he had gone there with his friend, and he walked up the stairs. It's a 2-level building, and on the top story, on the second story, there's a wide open veranda. And there, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who had been an extremely successful teacher of Bhakti Yoga in India, he had founded an organization called the Gaudiya Math, in which many very bright, some of the cream of the crop students and bright young people had come and joined him and had become very accomplished in writing. He especially liked to distribute literature and have his students write scholarly, well-researched articles in not only the Gaudiya Math's own publication called Nadia Prakash, but also by inserting themselves in the conversations of many other well-known publications of the time. And the Gaudiya Math had spread all over India. He would send out young people who were capable to go and start branches in various places. And so, at the time, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had moved to Calcutta. One of the tenets of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, the kind Gaudiya Vaishnava means a follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is, according to the Srimad Bhagavatam, which gives indication of the various ways in which Krishna, who's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appears in the world, speaks of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the most recent avatar, or manifestation of Krishna in the world, who has specifically come to give us a hand here, because things are slightly messed up. And he appears in West Bengal. So those who are followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are called Gaudiya Vaishnavas. There are many different kinds of Vaishnavas. There's Dravida Vaishnavas, those who are from Dravida Desh. Anybody here from Dravida Desh? Come on, there's more than one. That means South India. Does that change it? How many from South India here? All right. There are various designations of Vaishnavas. They all worship Krishna or Vishnu, but they have slightly different ideas about the mode of worship, but it's all the same mood, that it should be selfless service, and that there's one Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur that night, that Abhay Charan, dragged by his friend, came to visit him, was holding forth. He was sitting on the veranda with others who had gathered to hear him speak, which is one of the ways in which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught many students. He would sit and speak about Krishna and about the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, sometimes with a few people, sometimes with masses. And just by sitting and hearing, as is the tradition in this practice, going back as far as the Srimad Bhagavatam. As you know, the Srimad Bhagavatam opens with the scene of many, many people sitting in a forest, and they've asked this a very highly learned and gentle soul, self-realized soul, named Sutta Goswami, to speak about Krishna. And you'll see that that's a thread that goes all the way through the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was doing such a thing on a regular basis in the evening, and when Abhay Charan and his friend came to the veranda, they saw that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was sitting and speaking. They were respectful. It was the culture. So they came and bowed down. As Srila Prabhupada recounts, by the time they were seated, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was already suggesting that they should go out and teach Krishna consciousness to the world, especially him. He was talking directly to him. There was a rapport, an immediate rapport between the two. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta noted that he was educated. He spoke English well. And at the time, English was the main language of the world. America was definitely up and coming, or had come up already. It was known throughout the world as one of the places to be. Many educated people were there. The great experiment of democracy was going on, which allowed freedom of religion and so forth. And therefore, he strongly suggested that you should go there. Imagine if you came to meet an exalted person for the first time, and he gave you special attention and looked at you and said, you should go to the West and teach this. And when Abhay Charan and his friend left, everyone can move up by 7.2 inches as an experiment, because there's more people coming in, and we've fit as many as 3,000 people in here before, so this is nothing. If you see a space, feel free to fill it. Thanks for coming. Those of you who just come, great to have you here. This is ISKCON. If you've come to the wrong place, please stay. Because it's the right place anyway. of course, his friend was eager to know, what'd you think? When you invite somebody to come, you coerce them to come, you drag them, and then on the way out, you're going to want to know, so what'd you think? And Srila Prabhupada remembers saying to his friend that I think that now there's the capable, proper representative of this cause of Gaudiya Vaishnavism for the world. Proper representative of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as I mentioned, the most recent incarnation of Krishna. He was impressed, so highly impressed that he also recounted that the way that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had spoken to him left an indelible impression in his heart. So much so that he thought, when he first heard him speak, that this is my spiritual master. And he thought also, as the wheels began to turn in his mind, that I should help him. I should serve him. I should do something to help. After all, this was his upbringing anyway, but he didn't see any leader. And what's more, during the meeting, he had brought up to his future spiritual master that how would it be effective for me to go out and teach this Krishna consciousness when India is a country subjected to the rule of another nation? He said his argument was, first we should get freedom, because of course he already had a cause. He was a Gandhian. And he said, let us first get emancipation here. After that, then we can go and teach Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, who will listen to us? Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's answer is an answer that we can all take to heart, which is the answer that Krishna gives and the answer that Srimad Bhagavatam gives, Tad Vijnanartam Sagurum Eva Bigachet Samitpani Shotriyam Brahmanishtam. Don't hesitate when you get a chance to take to Krishna consciousness. Never hesitate. It's so urgent, it's so important, that he said that it cannot wait for any political readjustment to take place. You must take advantage of it immediately. And he also emphasized, which is a point made throughout the Srimad Bhagavatam, that there are no impediments to those whose desire within their heart is to serve Krishna. There may seem to be some external impediments, but all impediments are internal, he said. They all come from within ourselves. If I've made the decision to move forward towards Krishna, nothing can stop me. Nothing can stop the flow of bhakti if you sincerely want to advance in Krishna consciousness, which is a little bit of a bummer because that means we can't make any excuses. Darn. So, having a family to attend to, going through what everyone goes through. He lost his father passed away, dear father, who he remembers when he wrote his first major publication called Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and released it to the world, a book that made a huge impression all over the world and now is translated into many languages. It's a summary of the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is specifically about the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan. He wanted that to come out to the world, and he wanted it illustrated. 54 color plates, original paintings, oil paintings. Somehow or other, he arranged that. Not such an easy thing. Just try making a pamphlet and see if you can get somebody to do the design for it. They're like, no, I'm a little busy now, you know. Good luck, 54 oil paintings. He did that. In that book, he said, he remembered his father, a pure devotee, and thanked him for giving them the opportunity to have such a clear opportunity to be able to, the way he was raised, then take full advantage when he met a bona fide spiritual master. So he gave him all credit for his spiritual master, his father. So after that, Abhaycharan, took up the practice of Krishna consciousness, but he was busy. Anybody here busy? Yeah. Raising children, he also had business opportunities. He was moving up the ranks in a pharmaceutical business and had really good connections, and they were making big progress. And then he moved to Allahabad and also started his own company there and was highly successful. So at that time, he described how he would chant japa. Japa means saying Krishna's names by your own power. You're not with a group, you're alone. You can be with a group, but it's more for your own demonstration of devotion to Krishna by repeating the Mahamantra, which is, incidentally, goes like this: Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. And some people say, no, it goes Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. But if you keep going, no one can tell anyway. So he said that he had to wedge it into his day because he was so busy. That meant that his quota was 16 rounds, because that's what his spiritual master had given as a quota for all of his students who were working. And he did 4 in the morning, 4 in the late morning, 4 in the afternoon, 4 in the evening in order to finish. Meanwhile, he was juggling, like we all do, to keep everything in place. And he was so busy at one time when his spiritual master was conducting a pilgrimage, and he invited people to come, and they would conduct programs in a holy place. And many people had come. It was a 10-day affair, and he was only able to spare 1 day. He came into the last day. And when his spiritual master was speaking in a tent, there's a pandal. It's called a pandal, a tent. They're constructed so people can be out of the weather and inside, even though it's in a field. Many of the attendees of the event had gone off to a temple somewhere because it's their last opportunity, even though Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was speaking that day. He's giving lecture. He gave lecture every day. So people had a choice. They could go to a temple, last chance to see the deity there, or they could sit and listen to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. So Abhay Charan, still at that time, he sat and listened. And later on, his guru, who he reunited with later in Allahabad, he had Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, his guru, had sent some of his followers there to start a center in Allahabad, and they were canvassing, because oftentimes when devotees would go to a new place, they didn't have any resources. They would just go there and see what they could do. Would anybody like to try that? So we have a few places in mind. We'll get you a Greyhound ticket. And if you don't know what that is, you should definitely try it, so you know the American experience. They came to town in Allahabad, and they were doing some networking, and some people said, oh, you should go talk to Abhay. He's pretty wealthy. He has this business. And then they went there, and Abhay Charan, he was so elated to see that they had come there. He thought it was Krishna's arrangement. And this is something that happens for those who are sincere. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that if you have this enthusiasm in your heart for wanting to advance spiritually, then Krishna will make arrangements for you that you couldn't make yourself. If we're playing chess Anybody here play chess? You can admit it. It's a very sophisticated sport. I don't play. That's why I don't play. It's too sophisticated. But if we're playing chess with Krishna, then he's at least 10 billion moves ahead of us. He says in the Bhagavad Gita, Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjana bhavishani chabutani mam tu vedana kashchana, which basically means I know everything. A lot of people say that, but without being able to back it up. Krishna can back it up. So the devotees came there knocking at his business door, and he said he was so happy to see them, and he thought, oh, here again, here's come the representatives of Krishna and my spiritual master. And they started a center there, and he became very involved with that center in Allahabad, and they were so impressed with him there. He was very learned in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and also expert at playing Mridanga, for all you Mridanga players out there. And they saw him as a great asset in their temple there. He was a businessman, family man, and he would come there. Most of them were brahmacharis or sannyasis. And when his spiritual master came there, it had been 12 years later since he met him first. And he was giving initiation. So initiation is a process that one enters into when one becomes serious about spiritual life, so serious that they cannot wait anymore to express their surrender to Krishna. And one of the ways of expressing surrender to Krishna is mentioned in one of the famous Gaudiya Shastras named the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, where the author writes about the 64 limbs of devotional service, and the first three, he said, that are most important. First is adao guru vashrayam, take shelter of a guru. Guru is a representative, just like if Kodak, are they still alive? Not really, huh? All right. I hate to be cliche and say one of the big names. I'm trying to pick off the, what's the name of a kind of off the beaten track company? Huh? Phillips, that's a cigarette company. Let's use something else. Phillips Morris. What? Fries? All right, Fries. So if a representative of Fries comes here to enter into a contract, for instance, he would be given power of attorney, or she would. And we would speak to that person as a representative of Fries, and we would give respect, and when we signed the contract with them, it would be done, a done deal. So there's a way in which adao guru vashrayam, when one meets a Vaishnav, as Prabhupada did, he met his spiritual master, and then he accepted him as his connection to Krishna. And the spiritual master presents himself or herself in a very humble way, that I'm simply a representative. I'm a servant of the servant of the servant, and it's as if there's a copper wire. If you connect several copper wires and the electricity is miles away, you may say, well, it's too far away. It's like, okay, go ahead and touch it and see what you find. And you'll notice that the current comes through, and this is the idea. Now you'll be interested to hear that going back to the part of the story where Prabhupada had gone on the pilgrimage and he could only be there for one day, but he decided to stay and listen, and everybody else went somewhere else. His guru remembered that. He remembered it from years before. And when he was reintroduced to Abhay Charan by those who were administrators in the temple, and they're going to offer initiation, his guru looked and he said, I remember him, I marked him. He said, he likes to hear and he does not go away. So therein is one of the secrets of advancing spiritually. Of course, I'm preaching to the choir almost literally, because we're going to sing in a minute. and hopefully all of you will too, so you're the choir, preaching to the choir, because one of the ways in which one can advance spiritually is just showing up at the right place. There's so much to be said for being in the right place at the right time. You have to be adroit. You have to be a little smart and figure out where's the right place, when's the right time. In fact, when we just came back from India, we were in a couple of holy places, famous holy places, and we definitely checked the time schedule so that we were there at the right times. In fact, we'd hurry sometimes to make sure we were there. So sometimes you have to hurry to make sure you're in the right place at the right time. Don't go there the day after the big sale. It was 90% off yesterday. Where were you? So he accepted initiation from his guru. And can you believe that the first words that his guru spoke to him stayed there within his heart all that time? I would say they incubated there. And he was thinking at the time that what I will do is I'll become successful in business. He wasn't thinking of business becoming successful just to be a rich person, because sometimes people, they collect a lot of money, and part of the mentality is you got to collect enough so you're richer than other people, so that they look up to you, or that you have a sense of getting whatever you want just so you can live happily. He didn't think like that. He thought that if I'm able to be successful in business, I can use those resources to spread Krishna consciousness in the West, just as my spiritual master had asked me to do. As it turned out, isn't life funny? The best laid plans often go awry. And there were a series of incidents in his very successful business that brought it down, so that he lost the bulk of his wealth and his investment and the reputation in the company and so forth. And he found himself at a certain point without anything to speak of. This is the way of the world. You can put a lot into it, and then it can change, and then there's nothing there left. Therefore, one way of summarizing that the mood of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, that material endeavor, although necessary because we have to stay alive, right? Say yes. Is it's also risky, especially if you have a vested interest in it and you think you get to keep it. You don't get to keep it. That's one good thing to remember. It's all on loan. And it's ultimately, to think that you get to keep something material, it's all risk and no gain. Because in the end, you have to leave it all behind. Whereas in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Neha bikramana shusti pratyavayona vidyate swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. That is, if you take up spiritual practice even a tiny little bit, how little? A tiny little bit. Then that'll be counted. It's recorded and it counts. That's good, right? Somebody's keeping track. So it's all gain and no risk. Okay, let's see if we got the algebra right on this. The material world is all and no. Spiritual practice is all and no. What? Did you get it? Okay. 1,600, everybody. It's SAT scores. So after some time, and after being initiated as a Bhai-Charanaravinda, and also receiving a title, the local devotees were so impressed with him that they gave him the title Bhaktivedanta. Bhaktivedanta means one who knows the ultimate conclusion of bhakti. The ultimate conclusion of the Vedas is bhakti, and the ultimate conclusion of bhakti is Krishna consciousness. And after his spiritual master left the world, he continued to work towards bringing Krishna consciousness right here to Silicon Valley. That's why I'm saying it, because we're all here. And in a series of events, if we look back sometimes, we might think, oh, there's all these things happen. Sometimes it seems like, oh, I made a misstep and things are really messed up. But then you look back and say, that was the beginning of when I really started to thrive. And Krishna was... Did you ever direct an ant in the right direction? You know, haven't you ever seen a bug and the bug's coming in and you go like, don't go that way. I've done it with snails too, because I see like, you know, if you keep going that way, you're going to get run over. It's like, don't mind, but I'm going to turn you around. You go towards the, you know, the nice soggy grass over here, not towards the pavement with cars going 60 miles an hour. So Krishna does that for us too sometimes, and we go like, whoa, yeah. So Prabhupada lost everything, and then he found himself on a cargo ship. We went to the dock recently where he got on the ship. Oh, we were so moved. We got off. It's a bridge. When you stand on the bridge and cars go over it, you feel like it may collapse. It's springy anyway, which probably means it won't. But we stood on the bridge shoulder to shoulder because it's a very narrow sidewalk and we didn't want to block it for anybody. And you can see, it's over the Ganga, over the Ganges, the place, the dock where Srila Prabhupada, at that time is called A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. He had taken sannyas from a godbrother. And he boarded a ship with no money. But he did bring his books. They were loaded on the ship later when he got around the tip of India, around Colombo. And when he got into Boston Harbor, he had written some poems on the ship, just expressing his ideas. And you can read those and see what he was thinking. He was basically saying to Krishna, I don't know why you've brought me here, but you must want me to do something here. And please make me dance. Just work through me. He gave himself to Krishna. He said, I'll be an instrument for you. If you would like me to do something, please just empower me to do it. And it's a wonderful story. You can read in a book written by Satsvarup Das Goswami, one of Prabhupada's disciples who was an excellent writer and who was with Prabhupada a lot in the early days in New York. He wrote an extensive book about the life of Srila Prabhupada, and you won't believe all the amazing things that happened. And just going on the journey with him from Boston, and then first of all, it was in Butler, Pennsylvania. He had a sponsor there. Sponsor just means he could stay at their house for a few days. And they vouched, and unbeknownst to them, they had acquiesced to several people who asked them to sponsor, and no one ever showed up, so they didn't expect him to show up either. But he did one day. Said, I'm here. They picked him up, and he stayed at their house. They were delighted, actually, and amazed to see him there. And he went from there to Boston and then to New York City. And gradually, step by step, you'll read the saga in the book, the Prabhupada Lilamrita, about how he systematically enacted the teachings of his spiritual master and of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he wrote books, and he taught people to chant Hare Krishna, and he taught them how to cook and offer food to Krishna. You'll be interested to know probably that the first initiations he gave in New York City were to an enthusiastic group of young Americans. There were no Indians at the time in ISKCON. None. It all started with some Americans who didn't know anything about Krishna consciousness, only what Prabhupada told them. And so they were enthusiastic, they liked to chant, and Prabhupada invited them to get initiated, so they sat for an initiation. And afterwards, Prabhupada put a paper on the door where they lived that told them the other rules besides chant Hare Krishna. And that included no illicit sex, which is a big deal, no intoxication, which is even a bigger, well, I don't know which is bigger, no meat eating, which was, at that time, even when I was growing up and I became a vegetarian, and people look at me like I was sick, or like, what are you talking about? There were no vegetarian or vegan, vegan didn't exist then. There was no such concept, and vegetarian was crazy. In America, far and few between. In Europe, nothing. I went to France with my parents, and it was like nothing. So he told them no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication after they got initiated. Nowadays, we do it before, but actually we don't mention it that much. I'm just saying it for the story. But in that way, he established himself in New York and then San Francisco. In fact, I was talking to a godbrother yesterday, and he was saying sometimes people say Prabhupada single-handedly started 108 temples. And he said, no, he didn't. Actually, he empowered his disciples all over the world to start 100. He started one in New York. And then after that, he empowered his disciples. That's even more amazing, to go all over the world and start centers where they emulated what he did. They became very learned also by reading his books and following the process of Krishna consciousness. So this is a living movement. This is not some religion. This is called Sanatana Dharma. It's a universal process meant to awaken love for God within the heart. It's non-sectarian. It doesn't have to do with any particular culture. It has to do with culturing love for God within the heart. Whatever external body you have, we invite animals if they want to come. They don't always show up. But sometimes when we go out chanting, if they want to come, we did have one dog here years ago named Yogi, who also distributed books, had a backpack, and we even put Yogi's name on the Sankirtan newsletter. A lot of people didn't know it was a dog. But everyone's welcome, as it says on our sign out there. When we were making that sign, there was a very kind person who wanted to donate when we were just getting started. And they said, I'd like to help with the sign. As we moved in here, we've bootstrapped our way up from the very beginning. This particular branch of ISKCON started in a house. And then we got kicked out of there because the neighbors came and said, hey, are you going to have a church here? It was in somebody's neighborhood. You can't do that. Then we moved into a storefront, and the landlord, after seeing Janmashtami, said, do you do this every year? Because you can't stay here either. And then we moved to an unincorporated part of San Jose, and we fled after 7 years because of the landlord was, a drug dealer. He kept a pit bull in the parking lot, and he kept raising the rent and never fixing anything. So we came here, and we are attached to the principles of Krishna consciousness and the mission of Krishna consciousness, and we put that first. We have intentions now. We're just starting a school, a K through 12 school, for making a solid foundation. We also have what we call a bhakti community, through which we invite people to come and learn the tenets of bhakti, even if they're very busy. They can do a lot of their work and association online with our devotees. We have classes on the scriptures here, and we have intentions of it expanding here in the Bay Area. I personally grew up here. I grew up in the East Bay, but I've always appreciated the Bay Area, even though I've lived in many different places of the world, joined the Hare Krishna, see the world. And I would like to see, my vision is to see a world-class infrastructure and with thriving spiritual a thriving center with opportunities for everyone who wants to learn the science of self-realization and Krishna consciousness, to be able to come and participate as much as they like. So we owe this all to our founder Acharya. He sits on this exalted seat for a reason. He's a representative of what we call the Guru Parampara, the system of passing down this knowledge from one to the next, so we honor him in that way. He was very humble. He was happy to sleep on the floor, and he lived very, very simply and very humbly. But it's the duty of those who are his followers to honor him, and that's one of the ways in which one makes spiritual advancement, is to give such honor to the teacher. So now we just have a few more minutes. Today we have a special presentation. It's the end of the year, beginning of a new year. And so in about 20 minutes, we're going to be standing up and making an offering to Srila Prabhupada for all of the work that we've done in 2023, especially for two things. One is for distributing transcendental literature. We distribute a lot of books here. In fact, you may not know it, but one of the biggest rooms in this whole complex is the book room. Not many people know where it is, but it's in the center here. And the reason we have an extra tent out there now is because we're shipping so many books here. They come in every week on big pallets, and then they go out all over the place here in the Bay Area. Don't be surprised if one day you wake up and everyone's in the street dancing and chanting Hare Krishna. You can thank the devotees here later. We have, what was I even saying? I was busy cracking myself up. What? Huh? Yeah, we distribute a lot of books. That's true. Right. So we're gonna have an offering here later, and we're gonna read out the numbers of books that we've distributed, and at this time we'll also reveal how much we've collected. We give the bulk of our money to print more books. This is one of our systems, is to distribute books and give books. And the book organization, which is a separate organization, but we're the client in ISKCON, and the trust is called the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. That was started by, I'll give you one guess, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. He started that book trust so he could print books in perpetuity. And it was also to build the infrastructure of ISKCON all over the world. So what happened was, every time somebody would sell a book, then half of the proceeds would go towards building new temples, and half of the proceeds would go back into printing more books. That's still the process. So we give so much to the book trust, so we get more books, and then there are temples that have been built all over the world, not the least of which is in Mayapur, which is going to be one of the largest spiritual buildings in the world. It's enormous. It's startling how large it is if you go there and see in Mayapur. So this little center here, you'll hear some of the results from this little center. Here we'll be offering Srila Prabhupada in a little while. How's the temperature in here? It's way too hot. Could somebody who knows how to manipulate the temperature turn it down? Of course, that was pretty much a unilateral declaration, but I had one supporter in the front row. Now, shall we chant Hare Krishna? Okay. So you have Valmiki Muni. He was so depressed that when he met this great spiritual master, Narada Muni, who said, you should chant Hare Krishna, because if all else fails, and it will, you should chant Hare Krishna. And he said, I'm too depressed. He said, why are you so depressed? He said, I just blew my whole life. I've been a hunter. I'm the lowest of the low. I can't even say Krishna. I can't say Rama. So he said, don't say Rama. Say Mara. Mara means death. Because that's what people, when they're depressed, they just like to think about macabre things. So he said, say Mara, Mara, Mara. Now let's try it. Mara, 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 Rama, 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 Rama. Works for Rama, right? But what about Krishna? Okay, I'll teach you one. The other day, we were walking down the road. Don't give it away. We were walking down the road in Mayapur on a japa walk in the morning, and I stopped all the devotees along the side of the road because, lo and behold, on the side of the road, it was a good setup for me, there was a Snickers bar wrapper. Does anybody know what a Snickers bar is? That's not good. You shouldn't know. So I asked the devotees to come over. I told them the story of Valmiki Muni, and I said, so what are you going to do about Krishna? So I invited Part. Of course, Part's so articulate. When he said it, he almost was able to just say Snickers. But when the group said Snickers 7 times, let's try it. Snickers, 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 Snickers. So if you have a friend who likes to eat sweets, if somebody says, chant Hare Krishna? Nah, I don't like Krishna. I was like, do you like to eat candy bars? All right, let's try. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. going to prepare for, this is special you're here on this day because this is our annual report. In temples, you make the report to the acharya and to the deities. In fact, in many temples, they'll read the accounts to the deities because it's their place. We're just serving them. We just work here. So now we're going to offer to Prabhupada. It's one of the, it's the offering that he appreciated most. They're tabulating the scores, so they're giving me these, it's like baseball. Like, I don't know if they have it in cricket. Steal the base, throw a curveball. I'm getting messages. This happens every year. There's so many scores to count. I guess it's a good problem to have, right? We did too much. And there's too many scores to count, so here I am stopping on time for one time in the whole, I don't know, maybe a decade. And I'm getting a message too. So are there any questions? Yes, Kanka has a comment. Please pass her the mic. Can you want to try moving up one more time? Based on the theory that, or premise that we've fit 3,000 people in here before. We just want to make room for all of you back there. Sorry to make you stand in the foyer. Yeah. Perfect. Kanka, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you and welcome home.
Thank you.
And I heard from the Yatra, one of the Yatra students, they wish it wasn't over. I heard it was incredibly wonderful and it was so nice to be able to see everyone on the videos. But one thing I wanted to say, since you were talking about Srila Prabhupada, is that when the challenges came, when he was trying to purchase the properties in India for the new temples like Krishna Balaram Mandir and Mayapur and Juhu Beach, he said, "I am a Calcutta man."
Calcutta boy.
A Calcutta boy. They cannot...
Because there were a lot of shady dealings. Buying land in India is not child's play. Because there's already 32 pre-owners who come forward and say, no, and besides the property line's here, not there, and it goes on for a long time. Yes.
Right. I always thought that was really wonderful, because he was so powerful, and who else could have done that? And then gotten every 3 weeks he opened one of them, opened a temple on one of the properties. But then also I just wanted to mention that when he was a young boy, his father insisted that he take mridanga classes and mridanga lessons, and his mom was never so much into it, and she actually wanted him to be educated in England, and his father was one of the ones that said, no, he should stay here and not go to England.
Thank you. Helps to fill in the profile. The Calcutta boy is something we thought about while we were just there, because there's a practicality to spiritual life also. And I did mention that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta didn't retreat, but he rather advanced, and he came into the most crowded area to teach Krishna consciousness. This is one of the principles of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Remember, we're followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in a word, really, it's about giving mercy. Of course, that's 2 words, but the concept is to give Krishna consciousness to as many others as possible. And in the process of giving, we realize its value more and more. It's interesting because when we give it to others, then we see the effect it has on them, and then we remember the effect that it has on us also. And this is a movement for growth, and growth requires navigating the material world. So this is the context in which Prabhupada said, in a way, he was saying they're underestimating me because they think I'm an old man or a sadhu, and he said, I'm a Calcutta boy. Prabhupada knew how to deal. He knew how to make contracts. He had been around, and he knew when people were cheating, and he knew how to get around it. And he was determined and relentless in his pursuit. Are they ready now? Is that the signal I'm getting? I'm getting more steel second. Baseball analogies don't work here, do they? I got to learn cricket. Next summer, I'll take it up and then figure out how it works. It looks pretty much the same, though. Any other, any other questions? Yes. Oh, sorry. Did you have a question? Oh, okay, Arman is our man. Right, he'll be the next man. Go ahead. 1, 2. I'll answer quickly.
Thank you for taking us through the history of ISKCON and the lives of Prabhupada Maharaj. So you mentioned that there cannot be any material impediments to the spiritual progress. Can you please elaborate a bit on that?
When there are material impediments, we have an opportunity to grow because we have something that pushes against us. How do you get stronger in anything when something pushes against you? Until you take up a discipline, you don't even know it's there. For instance, if you try to control your mind by sitting and chanting Hare Krishna, until you do that, you think, my mind's perfectly controlled. I look at my screen. I'm happy. I can sit here 4 hours and look at the same screen and scroll. So what's wrong with my mind? We'll try sitting and just chanting Hare Krishna, do something spiritual for a while. Then you'll see that, oh, actually, there's some resistance there. So those who are determined, when there's resistance, then it teaches us lessons. And all the great, if you read throughout the Bhagavatam and the histories of any saint anywhere, you'll find that they're not always welcomed in this world. In fact, Socrates wrote about this when he was Socrates or Plato. He wrote about the cave dwellers, and he talked about how the reality of the cave dwellers is there are fires behind them, and they're looking at the walls and they're seeing their own shadows, and they think that's reality. And so one day, one of them makes it out of the cave and realizes there's a whole world outside, and then comes back in, says, hey, guess what? This is not reality. And they want to kill him for even mentioning it. So whenever you try to advance spiritually, there are going to be obstacles. But if you maintain your determination, you'll find that they make you stronger. I'll just leave it at that, because it's a long subject matter. But Arman, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for the amazing lecture. I just had a question. Why did Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, why did he choose Srila Prabhupada to go to the West? Why couldn't he have chosen another devotee who attended his lecture during that time when the deities were closing?
Well, there's 2 answers to that. One is that he did give everyone the opportunity. He even sent other people to the West. In fact, he sent people to Burma because he had a connection with the king of Burma at the time, who admired Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, so he gave him some facility there, and he sent a foray out there, and they actually had a temple in Burma. And he also sent some devotees, one as a leader, to London. And he spent more and more money, and it seemed more that he was getting changed by the culture there rather than him the other way around. And so he called them back after some time. They weren't successful, apparently. And so he did give the order to everyone. He asked everyone to do the same thing. And the other answer is that he noticed something special in his disciple Bhaichara and Aravinda. Others have mentioned it, that he saw something in him that was that he had unusual enthusiasm and talent. So he picked that out in him. It's just everyone has the opportunity, equal opportunity. It's an equal opportunity Krishna is an equal opportunity employer. And it's only up to us. It's our limitation. If we want to take it up, then there's nothing that can stop us, because even if externally the facility isn't available, oftentimes, as I was just saying, that it builds up the internal desire even more. And then when the opportunity comes, you're very much ready for it.
Thank you.
How are we doing now? I can't see through the... Okay, now we're going to have the offering that I mentioned. So what we're going to do, this is a group activity. In about 15 seconds, we're going to stand up. We'll move all the asanas, those are the things you're sitting on, back there. We'll roll up this carpet, and then we're going to make an arc around Prabhupada's Vyasasana. Ladies usually stand on this side, the men on that side, and this is the hard part. This is sticking the landing for 10 points. Is leaving a little aisle open between Srila Prabhupada and the deities. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. That's not the real thing. That's just the sample. So I gave you a free copy. Okay.
Where should I keep it? Back. वहाँ घर है, हम देख रहे हैं, आप प्रे करो तो हम आ जाए वहाँ पे।
Thank you. No one is in.
Okay, we're almost there. We're going to count down from 30, and then we're going to start. And we're going to do something, we're going to perform a miracle. If you'd like to see a miracle, raise your hand. Those of you who want to see a miracle, raise your hand and then say, shh. If you can hear me, raise your hand and say, shh. See how quiet it is? I mean, you can't see it, you can hear it. It's a miracle. Okay. Do we need to close that door or we're good? Okay.
Dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept our most humble obeisances at the dust of your lotus feet. All glories to your divine grace. We are gathered here to offer the results of a monthly Sankirtan festival titled Live to Give 23 Prabhupada Marathon. From Morning Walk, February 3, 1976 at Mayapur. So-called transcendental meditation, go to the Himalayas and go to the forest. We are not interested in all this nonsense. Our only business is to spread Bhagavad Gita as it is, door to door, town to town, city to city. We are not going to seclusion. Prahlad Maharaj said, this is professional bluff. I am going to the Himalaya, I am going to the forest. Prahlad Maharaj condemns that these are professional bluffs. Or they may be sincere, but still they are trying for their own salvation. Prahlad Maharaj said, I am not interested in that salvation. I am interested for everyone's salvation. Everyone must go back to home, back to Godhead. That is Vaishnava. Not that for my own salvation I go to Himalaya or in the forest and transcendental meditation nonsense. We are not interested in those things. Laughs. The Bhakti community is a community of spiritual seekers who are interested in learning about the timeless wisdom and practices of Bhakti Yoga, the yoga of love and gratitude. With blessings of His Grace Vaisesika Prabhu and Her Grace Nirakula Mataji, the Bhakti community continued to inspire newcomers to pursue Bhakti through various weekly programs. This MSF, Bhaktiyan program continued the series titled Lessons from the Golden Monk that was attended by around 30 people every week. The topics discussed included how good fortune awakens in one's life, extinguish the forest fire of suffering, and find your flow. On Thursdays, the 7th batch of Bhakti Circle Discover Yourself series was started. Around 15 people attended the sessions every week. The topics discussed included consciousness, the missing link, the mind, a friend or foe, and moods and modes. On Fridays, the Success Sadhana program started a new series titled Superpowers that was attended by around 50 people every week. The topics covered included an attitude of gratitude, and focus is peace, distraction is torture. Next stop, the Mantra Zone. The in-person meetup continued to provide a safe space for newcomers to experience the bliss of mantra meditation, introductory bhakti wisdom, and prasadam. Around 30 people attended the weekly meetup program at Palo Alto, and around 10 people attended the program at San Jose. On Sundays, the Women's Circle program continued every week, discussing Bhagavad Gita, focusing on the devotional service. Around 10 women attended these weekly programs. Bhakti Community's marketing team completely redesigned the Bhakti Community bookmarks that provide an overview of the Maha Mantra, weekly programs, and encouragement to sign up for Bhakti Community. The team also created an attractive Mantra Zone card that can be given to newcomers to come to the in-person event. In addition, the marketing team regularly posts attractive announcements of events on the various social media channels and the website. Comunidad Bhakti, the Bhakti community for Spanish-speaking people, continue to conduct Bhakti community programs for the newcomers. We are happy to share that Comunidad Bhakti now conducts 5 classes every week, including Japa circles on Mondays, Bhakti circle on Tuesday and Thursday, Bhagavad Gita reading on Wednesday, and Srimad Bhagavatam reading on Fridays. The sessions were attended by around 30 members. Bhakti community also provided the Bhakti community newcomers follow-up program overview to Los Angeles and Seattle communities who are eager to start Bhakti community locally. Bhakti community's sole purpose is to associate newcomers with Vaishnavas so that newcomers can progress in Bhakti Yoga. Vaishnava Sangha Lava, or VSL, is a metric that measures how many times a newcomer comes in association with a Vaishnava through a devotional service class. For this MSF, Comunidad Bhakti's goal was to achieve 1,188 VSLs. We are happy to report that Comunidad Bhakti surpassed the goal and achieved 4,300 VSLs. Haribol. Around 43 newcomers attended Comunidad Bhakti programs. For this MSF, Bhakti Community Silicon Valley's goal was to achieve 2,178 VSLs. We are happy to report that Bhakti Community Silicon Valley surpassed the goal and achieved 3,230 VSLs. For the year 2023, Comunidad Bhakti's goal was to achieve 4,851 VSLs. We are very happy to report that Comunidad Bhakti surpassed the goal and achieved 20,000 VSLs. And for 2023, Bhakti Community Silicon Valley's goal was to achieve 8,712 VSLs. We are very happy to report that Bhakti Community Silicon Valley surpassed the goal and achieved 16,168 VSLs. We are eternally indebted and grateful to all the volunteers, room leaders, speakers, mentors, and book distributors who work tirelessly every day to fulfill Srila Prabhupada's mission and spread Krishna consciousness in the Western world. We also want to thank each of our donors who help us maintain the Bhakti community. We seek blessings from you, Srila Prabhupada, all your disciples, and all Vaishnavas to bless Bhakti community so that we can attempt to follow Lord Sri Chaitanya's instructions to inspire newcomers to take up the path of Bhakti, if Lord Krishna so desires. And finally, our most heartfelt, sincere gratitude to His Grace Vaisesika Prabhu, Her Grace Nirakula Mataji, and because it is only due to their presence, leadership, and motivation that the Bhakti community exists and is thriving. Thank you so much. Bhakti community gets the opportunity to serve newcomers due to the tireless efforts of the book distribution team who introduced Bhakti community to these newcomers. Now, His Grace Shri Krishna Purushottam Prabhu will present the book distribution results.
Dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to your divine grace. Namavam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namini. The goal for this Live to Give MSF was to distribute Bhagavad Gita's 73,000 Bhagavad Gitas. In keeping up this mission of spreading Krishna consciousness and giving mercy to all souls, Team ISV organized a massive book distribution in various locations in the last 3 months. Here are the highlights of various teams for the MSF. Kids Sankirtan team. The ISV kids participated enthusiastically every weekend and organized Youth Sankirtan every month. The kids team organized a book push in the month of November where the whole ISV community participated and distributed over 5,000 Bhagavad Gitas all over the Bay Area. They distributed 111 Srimad Bhagavatam sets and 7,976 Bhagavad Gitas. They accrued a total of $26,595 in Lakshmi points. Book points. And also they collected Lakshmi of 20,645 and 66 cents in Lakshmi points. The Motel Gita team placed thousands of books in the hotels and motels covering 30 states within the USA. Team ISV dispatched over 54,000 assorted books to the various hotels in 2023. Devotees went from motel to motel and door to door, many places like Southern California, Boston, Florida, etc. Devotees got orders from Las Vegas trade shows, attended even without a booth. The Motel Gita team was able to help the Gita team to distribute in UK and in the schools and also in corporates in the United Kingdom. Here are the scores of Motel Gita. They distributed 45,547 Bhagavad Gitas. They accrued 106,161 book points. The Western Sankirtan team had a blissful marathon with a huge success in distributing Srila Prabhupada books to one and all. Without any discrimination, more than 100 venues have been covered as a part of the marathon, distributing Bhagavad Gitas in masses. In October, the team covered local festivals like Half Moon Bay, Pumpkin Festival, Fog Festival, Palestine Cultural Festival, San Mateo Festival, How Wade Street Fair, San Francisco Festival, and Campbell Festival, Dandiya Festival, Diwali Festival, various farmers markets and downtowns. During November and December, the team covered local downtowns like Fremont, Morgan Hill, Campbell, Milpitas, San Francisco, San Jose, Los Angeles, Berkeley, and Mountain View downtown, local restaurant shops, universities, farmer markets, Santa Clara DMV. We're happy to report that the team received an official permit to distribute books in Santa Clara DMV. The Western Sankirtan team plays a critical role in bringing seeking souls in contact with Bhakti community. In 2023, a few Bhakti community devotees came together and formed a Spanish Sankirtan team. The Arabic Farsi team had a big success this year. In the marathon, the team went to total over 100 Mediterranean restaurants, halal grocery stores, bakeries, caves, and bookstores across the Bay Area and beyond. The team divided themselves into various small groups and covered different cities of Bay Area. For the first time, we got 3 much awaited Farsi titles, including Farsi Bhagavad Gita. In total, Arabic Sankirtan distributed 6,733 Arabic Farsi books. The Arabic Farsi goal for this marathon was 15,000 book points, and they smashed this goal with 21,261 book points. Western Sankirtan team total adds up to 60,137 book points and collected 68,673 and 96 cents in Lakshmi points. ISV Corporate Sankirtan team. 2023 was yet another a strong year for Corporate Sankirtan team. ISV Corporate Sankirtan team focused on volunteers, events due to donation matching impacted by corporate downsizing in the Bay Area. As a result, we held a successful voluntary events at ISV for the big technology corporations like Google, Apple, LinkedIn, PayPal, and Microsoft, and also participated in voluntary activities in ISV during Janmashtami time. In 2023, we applied our first corporate grant at Salesforce, and the results are awaited. In total year, Corporate Sankirtan team collected 464,874 in Lakshmi points. Bhakti SFF San Francisco also contributed in unique way for MSF. ISV communicated donated generously for Sankirtan. Team ISV held second Global Youth Yatra 2023 led by His Grace Vaisesika Prabhu was successfully held at Sridham Mayapur and Calcutta. Youth from all over the world participated enthusiastically and distributed books there. The ISV inventory and shipping team worked tirelessly to dispatch thousands of books within the Bay Area and also within North America. They organized the packing of many thousands of Trimurti sets, arranged for the packing of materials, books, and cookies for many locations in the Bay Area. As we make this offering of the MSF results, we are pleased to report that all goals have been successfully met, surpassed, and smashed. final results. All the scores from this MSF were compiled, and here are the summary of the final results. In all, more than 400 devotees participated in this Live to Give marathon. Total book points accrued 326,012 and 60 book points accrued for this marathon. Total Lakshmi collected 658,373 and 86 cents. Total Team ISV distributed 123 Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita sets. Team ISV also distributed 1,471 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. Team ISV distributed 76,725 Bhagavad Gita, surpassing last year total of 74,976. 2023 year totals. Total book points 630,691 and 85, surpassing the last year total of 531,698. Total Lakshmi collected $1,116,910.48. Team ISV distributed 431 Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita sets. Team ISV distributed 3,348 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. We are happy to report that we met the 10% increase in the BBT remittance for 2023. This year is a historic year for Team ISV. This year, BBT remittance crossed $1 million, and we remitted 1,04,370 and 97 cents to BBT. In 2017, Team ISV remitted around $500,000, and His Grace Vaisesika Prabhu mentioned to us we should reach at least $1 million within 6 years. By grace of Srila Prabhupada and the blessings of Lord Chaitanya, we are able to achieve this goal today. We are grateful to each and every devotee at ISV because everyone participated in MSF either by giving generous donations or by personally distributing books or by giving advice or by encouraging or just extending friendship and good wishes. We are also grateful to our online audience who also participated in this MSF so actively through their attention and generous donations. Our deepest gratitude and to the dedicated ISV Sankirtan devotees who have tirelessly worked hard to smash these goals. Our deep gratitude to His Grace Vaisesika Prabhu and Her Grace Nirukula Mataji for inspiring us with this MSF and guiding us at every step of our way. We pray to the Lordship Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Mahaprabhu, Shri Shri Lakshmi Nachingadev to shower their blessings upon Team ISV so that we can continue to work with this mood of cooperation to show mercy to all the souls. We are praying to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to empower us to work as a one team. We need to work together to accomplish Team ISV goals, just as different varieties of flowers are offered in a garland to the Lord. Live to Give Marathon ki, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Bhagavan ki, Sriman Mahaprabhu ki, Shri Shri Lakshmi Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
I'd like to give special acknowledgement and my deepest thanks to Jai Madhava Prabhu Pavani Bhakti for heading up the Bhakti community and spreading it all over the world. It's most needed to bring in the sincere souls. I'm so deeply grateful to Malini and Sri Krishna Purushottam Prabhu, who have stayed the course over decades, now to come to reach our next base so we can move on from here. I want to thank all the unusually talented leaders who are putting their heart and soul into spreading the Krishna consciousness movement, the most worthy of all causes. Shraddha Devi Dasi heading up the corporate program, and all of the leaders from the various departments, our deepest gratitude to you for your leadership. Thank you for all the devotees, and I love your prayer at the end. It's not what we do ultimately, because birds fly in the sky as high as they're able. The sky's unlimited. It's more how we do it. And the more that we're in lockstep working according to what pleases Krishna in the same mood that Srila Prabhupada taught us of love and trust, the more we're successful. And the results then speak for themselves. So we're just beginning here in Silicon Valley. And the tip of the spear is the process of giving mercy to as many people as possible. And that is a full-time occupation. I thank all of you very much for working together for this. It's something that will go down in history as a period of time in which something amazing was done to spread a philosophical system and a practice that does good for all. Thank you very much. Gaur Premanande Hari. Emonadul Mati. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta it's all you. Srimate Bhaktivedanta Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravan Prachariye Nirvishesha Punyavadi Nishtato Ishtakarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Ashtottara Shata Shri Shrivad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jaya Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Ashtottara Shata Shri Shrivad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath, Shyamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhan Ki, Shri Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki, Shri Jagannathpuri Dham Ki, Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki, Gandamai Jamuna Mai Ki, Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki. All glories to the assembled devotee. All glories to the assembled devotee. All glories to the assembled devotee. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if it's... Thank you. They trying to tell me to sit down. Hare Krishna, if we can get everybody to sit down, that would be greatly appreciated. Nara Nrsimhadev ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki, Gaur Premanande.
Hare Krishna. We just have a couple minutes of announcements before we head to Prasadam. We welcome you all to ISKCON of Silicon Valley. Thank you so much for being here on this wonderful Sunday. First, we'd like to thank Vaisesika Prabhu for giving such a wonderful class about Srila Prabhupada and the history of ISKCON. We'd also like to thank him and Brajarasa Bhavana for leading the Aarti. And Parth for the wonderful, melodious, and heartfelt Nrsimhadev prayers. First, we'd like to thank all of those who've come to ISV here for the first time. By a quick show of hands, who's here for the first time? Oh, wow, so many faces. We have a couple of devotees here in the back. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Prabhu. Oh, Hare Krishna. It's so nice to have you all. So for all our newcomers, let's chant together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We're glad to have such a nice newcomer turnout today. If there's anything that myself or Shri Gopal Prabhu, right here, can do to make your stay here more comfortable, answer any of your questions, please reach out to us. We also want to thank the audience online. We have devotees on several channels like YouTube, Facebook, and our Zoom room who come join us for the program. So we thank them as well as the broadcast team that makes that possible. Next, we have 5 sponsors for today's feast. We first have Anuradha Velineni Mataji's mother-in-law. It is Anuradha Velineni Mataji's mother-in-law's birthday tomorrow, and her name is Jaya Mataji, and Anuradha Mataji is sponsoring on her behalf. Is she here? Anuradha Mataji, are you here? Oh, okay. Oh, please come. We'd like to hear a few words.
Yeah, so this is about my husband's aunt, and she dedicated her life for them. So happy birthday! Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. This is a small sweet. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. We have Vasuprada Mataji next and Vikram Prabhu, who are sponsoring on the occasion of their son Vittal's 3rd birthday. Okay, let's see if this works. What do you like about ISV? What is your favorite thing about temple?
Radha.
Radha. Oh, he loves Radha.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. I think like most of you, our lives changed the moment we entered this premises. So many reasons, and there's absolutely no reason. We've gone through a lot of highs and lows, but I think the strength that is given by Krishna and the mercy of all the devotees is exemplary. Today, it's Vittala's 3rd birthday. Super excited to open his gift, but I request all of you to give him blessings so that he'll become a humble devotee and serve all the devotees and Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Next, we have Mayapur Bihari Prabhu, who's sponsoring on the occasion of his mother's 75th birthday. Hello! Please come up, Prabhu. Oh, we even have Mataji here today. Please come, Mataji. So while Mayapur Bihari Prabhu is coming up, we have Rupan and Manju Patil, who are sponsoring to seek the blessings from the lordships and all the devotees. Haribol.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I feel very privileged. What is the probability my mother will be with me on the birthday? And in fact, today is also our actual 75th birthday. So it's our privilege to serve the devotees by sponsoring this small thing. Please pray for us. Please pray for her, for Bhakti, and very grateful for being here. Personally, I'm here because of my parents. So I'm very, very grateful to Krishna, and on behalf of our family, I'd like to express our gratitude for giving me such parents. Thank you.
That's very heartfelt. Please stand, Mat. This is Maya Hari Prabhu's mother. Haribol, thank you, Prabhu. Do we have Rupen and Manju Patil here? Oh, their son is here. Okay, please, and daughter. Oh,
Hare Krishna. My mom is very shy, so she's not up here. But we just wanted to seek all of your blessings. Thank you.
We have one more sponsor today. We have Sri Prabhu, who's sponsoring on the occasion of his father's monthly passing anniversary. And in honor of that, he helped cook the feast the entire day in the temple today. So, Sri Prabhu, are you here? Oh, yes, please.
Hi, I'm Sarmishta. I'm his daughter. In memory of my grandpa, the late Dr. Vaddi Chinna Subbarayadu, he had a PhD and he was a retired professor, researcher, and plant breeder and geneticist in Andhra Pradesh at their agriculture university. He created many species in sorghum and castor plants that thrive in various low resource environments. And we, including my grandma and our other relatives back in India, we love him, and may his soul rest and attain moksha.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that heartfelt prayer, and thank you for serving today, Prabhu. It's such a beautiful way to commemorate your father's memory. Hare Krishna. All right, now we have Shri Krishna Purushottam Prabhu, who is seeking blessings from all the devotees here as he's going to visit Ayodhya Dham for the historical prana pratishta of the deities in that dham. Haribol. Today was a historic event in and of itself because as you all were part of the offering of the results, you heard that we surpassed 1 million in Lakshmi points. So that was a very historic event, and in order to thank all the devotees who participated, we had a host of cooks in the kitchen to prepare a beautiful feast, and Madhav will tell us who the cooks are. He has a big list.
Okay, so the cooks for today were led by Vijwala Rasi Mataji, Malini Mataji, Keshwari Mataji, Sri Krishna Purushottam Prabhu, and helped by Champa Gopi Mataji, Brajanath Prabhu, Manjula Kanta Mataji, Madhava Govinda Prabhu, Haladara, Rahupa Prabhu, Sri Rama Prabhu, Rasamrita Shesha Prabhu, Paris Mataji, Kanika Mataji, Sri Babu, Nam Smaram Prabhu, Vaishnavi Tosani Prabhu, Ravi Prabhu, Kumari Lila Mataji, Prem Nitai Prabhu, Tariya Seva Prabhu, Palika Mataji, and Shraddha Mataji, and many other devotees helped with and the cleaning was assisted by Kennedy and Theo Prabhu.
In his defense, those are very, very long, beautiful names. So thank you, Madhav. Awesome.
Hare Krishna. How is everyone? Jai Shri Ram. So next Monday, as you know, in Ayodhya, there is a beautiful ceremony happening. That is the inauguration of the Lord Ram's temple. So we are very excited, and as a community, we want to come together, and we're going to participate in this celebration. So what are we doing? How ISV is participating? Are you interested to know? Yes. Okay, are you interested to participate? Yes. All right, then we're together in this. So what we're going to do next Sunday, we're going to start the kirtans. Darshan will be open throughout the day. You can enjoy, come take darshan, enjoy kirtan. We'll be passing out prasadam also throughout the day. Of course, we have our Sunday feast program as well. And we're going to go on till late evening. We do want to let you know that there is opportunity for you to come attend the kirtan, take prasadam, as well as that if you would like to participate, because as you know, the part of this, one of the activities in a celebration, they are having all your local temples, you go do, what would we do? Maha cleaning. So we will be having a Maha cleaning. Yes, kirtan will go on. And, the Sunday feast cooking will go on. Everything will happen. But there is a plenty of opportunity for the cleaning as well. We have sheds, we have parking lots, we have a garden, we have a pujari room, we have so many ways you can participate. So if you are inclined to do some devotional service and to celebrate Lord Ram's inauguration ceremony, please come, and we will be starting the cleaning around 11 o'clock in the morning, and then we'll go on till late evening. Hare Krishna. So we'll see you all there. Jai Shri Ram then.
Thank you, Hansapriya Mataji. We hope to see you all there next Sunday. Now, without further ado, we have the wonderful feast being served outside after the prasadam prayers. We do have another program at 7 p.m. So after honoring prasadam, please stay back. Just even a few handful of devotees who can help assist in the cleaning effort. That'll help us move on to the next program faster. And if there are any cleaning volunteers, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but would you raise your hands so that we can identify you? Haribol, thank you, Mataji. Oh, Sadhu Vrindavan, Madhuri Saki, which means the entire youth. All right. Oh, thank you so much. All right. So prasadam, again, there's 2 lines. It looks like they've already started serving. So after prasadam players, please come honor prasadam. Hare Krishna. Vidyaja
Dharma Jivayati Loho Vaisesika Krishna Varadayama Kori Vareti Dasa Hari Bol.